The new PowerLock from Supernatural Big Baits, guys. This is a project I worked with Duff on for quite some time to get a little bit extra into your trolling game. So this looks like a Supernatural Big Bait with no hooks, right? You're going, what is this for? Well, simple. It's a vertical planer board. So the point of this bait is you put another bait behind it, and it allows you to send small baits, bucktail, spinner baits to any depth you want. So I'm going to show you how I rig these guys. I'm just grabbing a casting rod here today to keep it simple. We're out here in the boat. Doesn't matter what rod you use, but you know, in general, I prefer to use it on my trolling setups here. I'm going to take it, and I'm going to attach it to my leader, just like any other bait, right? So is it a bait? Is it a tool? It's up to you, because this does have a hook hanger in the front. So depending on where you're at and what's legal, you can put a hook on this guy to have it as a flasher, as a trailer, if you will. I'm going to grab a Musky Shop leader here. I like these 36-inch 100-pound guys, right? Big fluorocarbon leader. I'm going to take my split ring pliers, grab my PowerLock here. Try to get her there. And attach my split ring to the steel ring on my 36-inch Musky Shop leader. You know, we've got 100-pounders. We've got, what are we running today? 100-pound 36. That gives me a bunch of distance here. Now with this bait is going to run. I call it a bait. I don't know if it's a planer or a bait. We got to make up our minds here, right? This is running just like a Supernatural bait. So I'm going to get it over here, and you'll see we've got some wander, right? Already this bait's doing some stuff. Now, where am I implementing this? When, where, how, right? What am I doing? My goal is to take a bait that should not traditionally go deep without a bunch of weight and get it down deep. So let's say we're on a Booker 700 bite. Muskies have been cracking them all week. And then you got stuff like this comes in. Look at it. This is not great musky weather. It's cold. It's a cold front. All that stuff. Well, we know the size and profile that muskies are after. Now we have a depth problem, right? So we know they've been on moderate size baits, say like a 700 Booker here. We know they've been on eating that size and profile and that vibration. Now a cold front has forced them deeper than we can get this bait down at a castable speed. Right? So the same thing that we use trolling for, to deliver a presentation at a certain depth and at a certain speed, we can now take a small bait like this Booker tail, put it out here, bam, right? Look at that. Now I have a Booker tail running behind a Supernatural big bait, okay? So I'm going to put this, I'll actually hold her here and get her up just a tick of speed here, not too fast, as we get going here. And now I have that Supernatural wander and a little bilge pump action. But I've got that Supernatural wander going on a Booker tail. So I stick this guy out in my rod holder. I'm hitting the running depths of, you know, a 8.5, a 10-inch headlock, that kind of same running chart. So you have the same depth chart, and now I have a 700 Booker tail down there. So let's say I want to just cruise through here. Not only do I have that vibration, so I've got this thump that's calling muskies in. It's getting attention, right? Now I have the small bait behind it. This is going to help you so often when you're in one of these situations where you can get a bait down deep. You can get it to where the muskies are, but they won't hit it. Now we can send down a small bait so much easier, right? So as I come through here, I'll pull this guy up, get it out of the Folby there. And it's amazing with that 36-inch leader just how well that runs. And I'm coming in and that bait's still just going, right? That Booker tail's just spinning along there. And I'm able to do some things I could never do before, right? So you look at, say, slammer here. It's a shallow running slammer. Right, this is one of the bigger ones. It'll hit some depth. You check out your trolling charts on the Musky 360 app. You can get it down there, but you know, as a shallow running crankbait, really a bait that's going to be hitting 15 feet, or you know, if you want to send her down to the abyss. So now I'll get this going here. You can see. There's the Supernatural pulling the headlock, or pulling the slammer, right? I'll do a little bit more speed here. Got a rock bar to contend with. But I'll come here and you can see those guys going. And that PowerLock is just getting that bait down there. I'm going to feed some line here. And you'll see as I come out through here. There's your thump. So you now have a slammer being pulled by a Supernatural Big Baits PowerLock, and I can hit that dive curve anywhere I want it to go, right? If I want to send that guy deep, let's send him deep. Bam. There she's going, right? It's absolutely unbelievable how much you can get done with this. The big key to maximizing your success with the PowerLock is going to be experimentation, right? You want to make sure that you're playing with a lot of different baits because, you know, at times you're going to run into a bait where it's not the best combination with this, right? Experimentation is going to really be the key, right? Do these baits play well with one another? Sometimes you'll find, and in the prototyping stages with this bait, there's just some baits it doesn't play well with. That's life, right? Now, you know, some of your slammer baits, it loves them. Little Joe Booker, you know, shallow raiders, eats them alive. Crane baits, eats them alive. It can handle big blades. It can handle a lot of different thump. But what you're going to want to do is experiment with your baits, right? And you're able to do a lot of different things here. And again, not every bait's going to play well. And they always said with Supernatural Big Baits, they're known to start fights and they don't play well with others. But with the PowerLock, you're going to get it and find out that there's a lot of presentations, especially your blade style baits here. You know, take this Spanky here and we just get her cooking. I mean, that thing's going already. I'll try to hold her up high so you can see this in the water of how this is just pulling that Spanky bait like nobody's business, right? Now let's send her down. Let's send her to the abyss, right? I'm able. Let's see, that should be taking that guy down about 12 feet. I'm able to get a bucktail out 12 feet down that fast. You know, if you've ever trolled blades, that's always the problem. How much weight are we putting on this thing? How much modification are we having to do? I love to modify baits, but with this, it just makes my life so much easier when I'm able to get on a bite, you know, play around with it, try different presentations, right? Some big baits will work, some small baits will work better. Add it to your trolling game, play around with the PowerLock, and it's going to put more muskies in your net.